Not only did they dare to betray your trust for a few cursed coins, but they had the audacity to attack your very existence. Today, the cards are trembling in my hands, and the guardian angels woke me in the early morning to show me what I must reveal to you. Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel have placed it before my eyes like a burning vision I cannot ignore. I see the face of someone who was by your side, who drank from your trust, who walked with you in your moments of struggle, and who you never imagined would be capable of selling you out for a few coins stained with evil. This person not only took the path of betrayal, but their ambition was so dark that they went as far as to think of seeing you fall, of leaving you breathless, of removing you from the world with a poison disguised as friendship. I feel the echo of binding spells that were cast against you, of candles lit on hidden altars, of symbolic burials performed with your name and photograph, attempting to bury your destiny under foreign soil. All of this was done by a false ally who disguised themselves as a supporter, while secretly opening the door for your enemies to enter. Saint Michael shows me his sword cutting the filthy ropes that bound your path, and Saint Gabriel announces that heaven is already writing the end of their story. You, who are hearing this message, didn't you arrive here by chance? It is time for you to decree in the comments the phrase that will open your channel of protection. Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, activate my divine justice now. By writing it and liking this message, you will be aligning your energy so that the universe and the guardian angels activate your shield and reveal everything that is still hidden. And as you begin to receive the light, that person, that false ally, is already falling into a darkness with no return. I see them alone, drowning in debts, their tongue dry from the lies no one believes anymore, with a lost gaze because their former allies have also turned their backs on them. But what is coming for them is much stronger than ruin and loneliness. I am increasingly amazed by the darkness some carry in their souls. Today, as I held the cards, I saw a black path open before my eyes, a path full of symbolic burials, black candles, and jars buried with your name. They not only dared to betray your trust for a few cursed coins, but they had the audacity to attack your very life, to wish for your voice to be silenced forever. They show it to me clearly. There were nights when this person invoked dark energies, performed twisted binding spells. They sought out those who work with death to try to block your destiny. And although they once shared partnerships, dreams, and even meals with you, greed blinded them to the point of wanting to see you buried in ruin. But here is the truth that the guardian angels are shouting to me: your creative energy is stronger than any poison they tried to place in your path. Saint Michael has intervened with his sword of fire, and Saint Gabriel has spread his wings over you, covering you with a mantle of balance and progress. This is your moment. The entire cycle of sadness, of energetic blockages, and of the invisible traps they laid to stop you is ending. Nothing remains hidden from divine justice. Right now, as you listen to these words, your enemy is drinking their own poison. I see them consumed by a sorrow they don't understand, feeling in their own flesh the pain they wished for you. There are signs of illness, of problems affecting the deepest fibers of their family, and a latent fear that makes them look over their shoulder as if expecting misfortune to strike at any moment. You who have come to this message, you didn't do so by chance, did you? The angels ask me to have you leave in the comments the decree that will open your protection. Even wider, Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, seal my destiny with divine justice. Do it while giving a like, because in doing so, you will activate the energetic channel that will allow all the knowledge and protection from above to manifest in your life. Unfortunately for this person, they never imagined that you were enveloped and sheltered by the sacred mantle, under the eternal gaze of the universe and the protective hand of God. Today, the cards are not just speaking, they are screaming, because the message is urgent, and it's no coincidence that you are here listening to it. Fate wanted you to know today what this dark soul has been facing. What was once arrogance and malice is now transforming into anguish and desperation. The cards reveal that their health is fading like a slowly extinguishing candle, and that a sudden, almost forced journey has led them to face the deepest pain, that of being before a dying loved one. For some, this energy points to a child; for others, a relative whose life is fading in their hands, as if divine justice itself is forcing them to care for that which confronts them with their own poison. Because yes, this woman who dared to pay to watch your every move, who commissioned binding spells and energetic burials against your life, now lives locked in the same spiritual prison she created. She is reaping what she sowed, and every tear she wanted you to shed now streams down her own face. The Virgin of Fatima with her unbreakable light has intervened, closing the paths of evil that this person tried to open against you. Remember, there were moments in your life when the shadow grazed you, where you felt death was near, where spiritual anguish suffocated you, but it was not your end. Because your guardian angels, Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, intervened with their swords of fire and shields of light. This is the moment to proclaim it. Declare in the comments, "I activate my energetic channel with the light of Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, and divine justice manifests in my life." Do it, because by speaking it, you not only seal your protection but also awaken the flow of sacred knowledge that the universe has in store for you. And as you rise, they fall. Right now, your enemies are restless, shrouded in mourning, traveling with the weight of news that crushes the soul. Because the burial they planned for you, they now face in their own lives. The wheel of destiny turns, and when it's your turn, no one can escape. The card literally jumped from the deck as if an invisible fire had pushed it towards me, burning my hands with the force of your own energy. Because right now, you are at such a high point that your enemies have nowhere left to hide. It's as if your guardian angels, Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, are at this very moment spreading their wings over you, pressing down from above on those energetic parasites that fed on your light for so long. These dark souls, who thought they could live at the expense of your pain, are paying with what they love most, and there is no escape for them. Divine justice has closed every path, and what's worse, they feel that death itself has knocked on their door. What my cards show is chilling. I see a gaunt face, the lost gaze of someone who knows their end is near. This woman, along with other hidden hands that were always in the shadows, formed a vicious circle of binding spells, gossip, and paid offerings in the dark to see you fall. They used darkness as a weapon, but now that same darkness has become a swamp that is slowly sinking them. In my visions, I clearly see morning entering like an unwanted visitor. And it is the same morning they wished for you. The energy of burials now haunts their lives, not just as a threat, but as a fact that strikes their reality with brutal force. It is important that you, as you hear these words, connect with this energy of liberation. Write in the comments, "I decree that divine justice act and set me free, because Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel ask it of me." Do this to activate the energetic channel that will open the doors of abundance and knowledge for you. This act is not just a gesture, it is a confirmation to the universe that you are ready to receive all that is coming. I also see that these people did not act alone. The woman who led this plot manipulated at least 3 other people, turning their hearts against you, pushing them to be messengers of evil. She used them as pawns on a board of spiritual warfare. But the cards are clear, now all of them are caught in the same storm they prepared for you, a hurricane of despair, loss, and internal betrayals. The cards are crossed, which tells me that the swift moves they made to attack you are now returning to them, multiplied. You, on the other hand, are completely freeing yourself from this cycle because your spirit has already broken the chains, and the justice that is coming is like a blessed rain upon your life. This energy vampire has been feeding on your light like a parasite hidden in the shadows, trying to dry up your spirit with every breath. But the cards have screamed it to me, and the angels have whispered it in my ear. The party is over. Even if they crawl to dark altars, even if they perform burials in the earth, even if they burn black candles before the complicit gaze of charlatan sorcerers, they cannot touch you. They are condemned by their own shadow. I have seen in visions that their greatest punishment is being fulfilled because karma has begun to collect its debt with what hurts them the most. And here, divine justice does not forgive. I see that they tried to close your paths time and again, using spells of misery and energies of illness to break you. They wanted to see you alone, to see you broken. But the card confirms that all that witchcraft has lost its power and now returns, multiplied, into their hands. The burden you once carried on your shoulders now walks beside them, haunting their every step. And it's not just her. There is a man who appears in this reading, a face marked by ambition and betrayal. This person sold his loyalty for a few coins, letting darkness guide him, and now I see him trapped, with one hand in front and the other behind, with no way out. It is no coincidence that you are hearing this message now. Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel have shown me clearly that your connection with them is strengthening. If at this moment you write in the comments, "I activate my light and my divine protection," and touch the like button, you will open the energetic channel through which truth and abundance will flow to you. The universe will see it, the angels will seal it, and your protection will be so impenetrable that not even the darkest of burials can break it. Within this vision shown to me by the cards and the guardian angels, I see with disturbing clarity the true face of this story. They are showing me scenes like photographs burned by time, scenes where laughter was fake, where toasts concealed betrayals, and on the table, there was not just bread and wine, but an invisible pact that later transformed into spiritual burials and dark spells. I feel the vibration of dirty money, of altered accounting balances, of numbers that didn't add up because greed had twisted them. This person who once smiled at you was silently sharpening the dagger of betrayal. And it was then that they decided to go from being an ally to an energetic executioner, attacking you with the audacity of someone who believes divine justice is blind. Now the price they pay is high. What was once a smile is now a grimace of pain. I see in their bodies illnesses that are the echo of their actions, internal storms that do not calm, nights where sleep is a luxury. Their happiness has been extinguished like a candle in a ruined cemetery, and they are drinking their own poison, tasting the bitter flavor of their karma. They are enveloped in a dark mist, as if walking inside a poorly executed ritual that has returned to them with multiplied force. You, however, survived the storm. They wanted to isolate you, to push you into a cold solitude, to close your paths, with rituals, vigils, and dark works to make you sick and take away your strength. I even see that they attacked your health, that they tried to make physical fragility defeat you, but Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel were there, placing an invisible shield around you. And it is here that the universe whispers to me that if now, as you listen to these words, you comment with a decree of light, and press the heart on this message, you will activate an energetic channel in you that will shield your life forever. I am not the one saying this, it is the angels who guide me in this reading. But there is more, because on this path, between the cards of justice and karma, an even darker revelation opens up. The card that jumped out at me with an energy so dense, I can almost smell the damp earth and ashes of a recent burial reveals the hidden sin that person, your false ally, dared to commit against you. They clearly show me a meal, but not just any meal, a table served with unclean powders from the cemetery, a disguised poison that caused those unexplained illnesses that almost paralyzed you, that made you feel like life was slipping away, that you were on the edge of a bottomless abyss. That betrayal was so profound it nearly stole your breath and your strength. But here you are, being reborn from those shadows. The cards tell me you are moving forward with the strength of a spiritual warrior. Your energy is marvelous, pure. It is the light that is crushing those energy vampires that fed on you for years, believing they could control you. But they don't know that you are covered by a sacred mantle, protected by guardian angels, by Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, who ask me to remind you that by subscribing, leaving a comment with a decree of protection and giving a like, you are activating that sacred connection that will open the energetic channel in you to strengthen your spirit and forever close these cycles of darkness. In this story of betrayals and spells, they also speak to me of a woman, the worst enemy, whom the karma card points to firmly. She did not act alone, she was supported by a man and 2 other women, a dark group that wove a venomous web of harm against you, convincing others to be emissaries of their evil. But in the midst of this sea of darkness, there is a hidden enemy who insists on returning from the past, someone who spies on you, who watches your steps with the eyes of a serpent, even paying to keep that shadow present in your life. And although you have blocked that energy, that past insists, it crawls, wanting to penetrate your present. A woman who snuck in among you, who envies you with the rage of 1,000 storms, blinded by her own jealousy. And it is that envy that led her to lose her way, that condemned her to the spiritual ruin she now pays for with pain and sorrow. Your energy has risen to levels that not even those astral parasites who have fed on you for years could imagine. Just by thinking with intention, you can crush them. And that is because you have ascended to the universal quantum field, to that sublime vibration where the angels surround you and lift you up. Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel have whispered it in my ear, asking me to remind you that by subscribing, leaving a decree in the comments, and hitting the like button, you activate that sacred channel that connects your soul with the power of the universe so that nothing and no one can touch you. I feel the rage in the air from that woman, your worst enemy, who watched as your harmony grew as you moved forward without her being able to stop you. She threw dark works at you, binding spells in cemeteries, shadows that tried to bury you alive. But those shadows are now dissipating because you are entering a process of deep liberation, of peace, and of new cycles that are opening just for you. And what is coming is abundance and a true love, a rebirth that not even those vultures at a distance can prevent. But be careful, because the poison doesn't always come from the front. There is family, energies that move behind your back who are so desperate that they try to use divination to spy on you, to know your movements and plan how to destroy you. They don't know that you are out of their reach, out of their nets, and that the world card confirms that your path lies in the realization of dreams and goals, that abundance surrounds you, and that they are only condemned to drink their own poison. They show me burials, tears, and desperation, an enemy who did not see the storm coming, that they themselves unleashed, someone who now faces the end they wished for you. But this is not the end yet, because the universe holds one last twist, an unexpected revelation that will forever change this spiritual battle. The dark night holds secrets buried in the earth itself, in those sacred places where forbidden spells and rituals of darkness are performed, which only the most powerful guardian angels dare to break. Because you, although many may not know it, are protected under the invincible mantle of Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, who with their swords of light tear apart every shadow, every curse, every vile attempt to destroy you. But not only them, the angels of the universe are watching, vibrating with you and demanding that you stand firm, that you activate your inner power. That is why when you subscribe, comment with a powerful decree, and give a like, you are making an energetic pact with them. You open a divine portal that multiplies your strength and activates the channel that attracts divine justice. Now listen closely, because what follows is the raw, unfiltered truth. That person who was once by your side, that false ally who swore loyalty and ended up selling you out for dirty money, is falling into a bottomless pit. Not only are they facing their own wounds, those they tried to inflict on you with cemetery spells and nefarious works, but now the energy of the universe is returning all the poison to them, and then some. At the bottom of that ruin, the cards show not just physical burials, but burials of dreams, of lies, of relationships rotted by envy and selfishness. They thought they could bury you alive, but they don't know that you will rise again with unstoppable force. What is most shocking is that this spiritual battle is not just between you and that tangible enemy, but there is an invisible army, a game of shadows, broken pacts, and dark beings that are now being unmasked. With every step you take, the truth comes to light, and the angels cover you with their shield of divine fire. The universe is conspiring for you to receive justice, and for them to pay for what they have sown. Therefore, declare in the comments, by the power of Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, my path is opened and divine. Justice protects me, because in doing so, you send out waves of light that tear down the enemy's wall. But the biggest surprise is about to be revealed, because in this game of betrayals there is a peace no one expected, a secret buried under layers of deceit that will change destiny. The truth hidden behind the veils of night is beginning to be uncovered with a brutal force that not even the darkest spells or clandestine burials have been able to silence. Because while some were drowning in their forbidden rituals, using cursed powders torn from the cemetery, invoking shadows, and whispering incantations under the moonlight, you have remained firm, protected by the celestial army of guardian angels. Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, with their swords of fire and radiant wings, have covered you with a divine mantle that repels any attempt at harm, while the universe itself conspires to open paths of light and power for you. Every time you subscribe, comment with a decree that comes from the soul, and press the like button. You are invoking the blessing of these celestial warriors. You are activating an energetic channel that connects with the wisdom of the cosmos and multiplies your strength to crush those energetic parasites that only know how to suck and drain vitality. What comes to light today is not just a simple settling of scores, it is the fall of an empire, of darkness built with lies, jealousy, and invisible poisons that for years tried to break you. That person who once presented themselves as an ally and ended up being the worst of betrayals, today faces the harshest consequences, those that only divine justice can impose. The cards reveal they are consumed by illnesses that seem like karmic punishments, that their days are darkened by the weight of unexpected burials and losses, and that their desperate attempts to bind and control you are dissolving into nothing while you are reborn with a light that tears through the darkness. The echoes of wails resound with brutal force because your enemies are shedding tears of blood, a deep cry that erupts from the darkest part of their tortured souls. I see energies of death nearby, like looming shadows, and destiny has singled out 4 people who participated in this web of evil they tried to weave against you. The first of them has already fallen, an unexpected blow that left the others trembling. 3 remain trapped in a spiral of fear and desperation, wondering if the works, those binding spells, those dark energies they wove to bring you down, are now returning to them multiplied, like an unstoppable hurricane. These energetic parasites sharpened their knives to attack your light, but what they received was a halt and a stop. From the universe, a sacred barrier that now has them trapped in their own labyrinths of torment and collapse. One of these people faces a health collapse or a burial that is approaching with a steady pace, while the others begin to live the most horrible moments they ever imagined, paying dearly for the evil they sowed. They wanted to see you alone. They wanted to see you in the shadows, but now those shadows inhabit them. The card reveals that this same woman, the worst of your enemies, moved energies from a dark altar, performing rituals in cemeteries, with powders and incantations intended to close your paths, break your dreams, and sink you into the deepest loneliness. 4 dark works were placed upon you to cut off your progress, to keep your heart closed, to turn relationships into betrayals, and to make love just a broken mirage. But what they don't know is that their spells are dissolving in the air, while the guardian angels, with Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel at the helm, unleash celestial justice upon them. And she was not alone. This woman manipulated a man and 2 other women, forming a coven of darkness to keep you trapped in that cycle of death and suffering. But the force that dwells in you today is a storm that sweeps away those chains. When you subscribe, when you comment with the decree, Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, defend me and open my path, and when you hit the like button, you not only strengthen your energy, but you invoke the celestial warriors to demolish every obstacle. Thus, the universe responds, activating your energetic channel and connecting you with the sacred knowledge that was always destined for you. The darkness they wove around you was deeper and more venomous than you ever imagined, because these people they sent to attack you were not just trying to destroy you with gossip and lies. They did it with a hidden terror. I feel the energy of that witch, that woman who was setting up altars in cemeteries, performing binding spells and forbidden rituals to sink you into a bottomless abyss. That witch who in life wielded the power of death and destiny, and who now, after her fall, has left a shadow that spreads like a curse, causing her followers to flee in terror. I feel the icy chill of a child's death that weighs on her, a tragedy so dark it is felt in every corner of her existence. This woman, who was your cruelest enemy, has now become the epicenter of a storm of calamities. Her followers, those who once launched themselves at you like hungry vultures, are now terrified to approach her because they fear that the same shadow consuming her will spread to them. The fear of illness, of misfortune, of the bad luck she brought with her secret burials and dark incantations, has them paralyzed. The cards show that this network of darkness, of altars raised in the shadows, is coming to an end. The binding spells and energetic works they did to close your paths and break your dreams have been undone by heaven itself. And now their bearers are fleeing, trapped in a labyrinth of guilt and fear. In the midst of this chaos, you have stood firm with the energy of the chariot, advancing despite the storm. With the strength of Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and Leo beating in your soul, you are breaking those invisible chains that sought to imprison. I feel that you too have grown tired, not just of the battle, but of the pain that these betrayals and heavy works have sown in your heart, especially in love. The card appears as a reflection of those disappointments, of those relationships that arrived like a mirage only to vanish in the desert of betrayal and loneliness. But this is where the true power begins to manifest. You are not that victim, you are the fire that consumes the shadows. As you say the decree, Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, may your wings protect me and open my paths. Your guardian angels are activated and raise your frequency, destroying every last trace of darkness. By subscribing, leaving your like, and commenting with your decree, you not only strengthen your spirit but also invoke that direct connection with the universe, that energetic channel that propels you toward the light. That dark stage of loneliness that they imposed on you with binding spells, burials, and dark rituals has because that imposing witchcraft that sought to lock you in a dead-end cycle, that halted love, blocked money, and closed your paths, is being broken by the force of your spirit and the blessing of the guardian angels. What seemed like an insurmountable wall, that energetic prison they had set up for you on a hidden altar, today crumbles like ashes carried by the wind. I feel the beat of the chariot moving forward with power, setting a new course for you, a path where authentic people arrive who do not cross paths with shadows or betrayals, but who open doors to happiness and true love. Because what was stalled, what was interrupted by those cruel energetic works, is now released and transformed. The cards announce celebrations, encounters, and the magic of the Two of Cups, which heralds the arrival of someone special, a love that comes to share a life, to be a partner in this new stage that is beginning. But not only that, there is also movement coming, travels that will shake up your energy and open new horizons. Whether for work, pleasure, or destiny, a journey may be the bridge to that new connection that awaits you. A bridge that only the angels Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel can open for you because they, with their swords and celestial trumpets, are guiding and protecting you. That is why at this moment, as you feel this powerful vibration, I invite you to subscribe, to leave your decree in the comments, and to activate the like button. Do it with an open heart because they ask it of you, and because in doing so you open an energetic channel that the universe uses to deliver knowledge, protection, and abundance to you. Keep in mind that every act done to you had its reaction, and now the scales are tipping in your favor. You will not fall back into that curse they wove for you, because it is broken, shattered by the force of your soul and divine justice. This close cycle announces the beginning of a time of light, love, prosperity, and new connections. But be careful, because as you advance, there is a shadow that still resists, disappearing, an energy that has not yet revealed all that it hides. In the next part, you will discover what deep secret is hidden behind that resistance and how that mystery could be the key to your definitive freedom or the final trap you must overcome. You are superior to everything they have tried to throw at you. Blessed by the very pulse of the universe, you are a child of God, a being destined to emerge victorious and triumphant in this battle of energies, dark rituals, and burials that sought to extinguish your light. You are not alone, because the guardian angels, those celestial warriors like Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel, are by your side, cutting, with their swords of fire any binding spell, any shadow that tried to entangle your soul in nets of evil. That divine protection elevates you above all the storms that have tried to bring you down. The great universe covers you with its infinite mantle of power and love. And now your energy shines with a force so pure it can tear down walls of hatred and poison. The betrayal, the dark secrets, the cemetery burials, and the spells they wove against you. Nothing can stop you because you are being reborn with the force of 1,000 suns. I feel how the energy of the cosmos propels you forward, toward a destiny where divine justice takes shape and where the karma your enemies sowed returns to them, multiplied, while you walk toward the light, toward the harmony you deserve. As you advance in this awakening, I invite you to subscribe, to make a powerful decree in the comments, one that activates your energetic channel with the strength of the angels, because Saint Michael and Saint Gabriel ask it of you. By giving a like, you not only nourish this space but also open the doors to universal knowledge and allow the cosmos to answer your call, to flood you with the strength needed to face what is yet to be revealed.